Today, we will once again take a look at interesting footage that captures a moment, how a Ukrainian FPV drones drops bombs under dozens Russian soldiers in battle. It seems like a never-ending story in Ukraine. A small drone drops explosives on soldiers below or slams into an armored vehicle and blows up, but social media has been flooded with scenes from such attacks. Drones, cheap, commercial ones in particular, are a terrifying new reality that is reshaping the modern battlefield in unprecedented ways. The utilization of weaponized commercial drones in combat goes back nearly a decade, when the Islamic State used small aircraft to cause headaches for US and partner forces in the Middle East. This threat, however, has been put on display for the whole world to see throughout Russia's war against Ukraine. Both sides in this conflict have relied on cheap drones of all shapes, sizes, and capabilities to undertake a myriad of tasks and generally wreak havoc on the battlefield. Videos captured from these drones has shown the world death and destruction of both men and equipment on a massive scale, often asymmetrically beyond their value. Drone usage has, in many cases, also stripped both Kyiv and Moscow of a crucial element: secrecy. The constant surveillance that drones can offer is forcing militaries to change how they move through the battle space and pushing troops to consider new measures of detection and protection. But the problem obviously doesn't stop with observation, as these aircraft can deliver varying levels of explosive payloads, becoming quite deadly. Lieutenant Colonel Adam Schultz, the commander of a basic training battalion at Fort Sill, said, "These drones have essentially taken away your ability to hide." Indeed, one of the lessons that the US military is drawing from overseas, specifically in Ukraine, is a heightened emphasis on cover and concealment tactics, something that's being taught all the way down at the boot camp level. Army leadership has been working to implement drones into basic training, employing practices like flying the aircraft above soldiers, who can then learn how to react to and disappear from the aerial threat, Schultz told BY in an interview. Drone, it is a new reality for the battlefields of today and tomorrow with exceedingly grim implications, and the future of warfare is scary, Sauda said. The pace of technological developments for these types of threats is going to outrace your ability to create things to counter them. Figuring out how best to counter the drone threat is what the JCU is hoping to accomplish, and since October, hundreds of US troops have flocked to Fort Sill for 2-week courses that help them understand drones and practice different methods of defeating the threat. On this day, Kyiv also has released video it says shows the dramatic moments when Russian armored protected vehicles succumbed to a coordinated land and air attack. Ukraine's defense ministry posted 74 seconds of undated drone footage of what it claimed was an operation by its 47th Mechanized Brigade in the Avdiivka direction in the Donetsk region. Russian forces have gained momentum following their capture last month of Avdiivka, which had been fiercely fought over for months, but on Thursday Kyiv claimed bragging rights about a purported strike on what it described as 3 Russian IFVs, infantry fighting vehicles. When aerial shots from different angles start with the aftermath of an explosion on a road with smoke billowing into the air after an apparent strike on a vehicle as 2 other vehicles drive away. Another view purports to show a US-supplied Bradley infantry fighting vehicle closing in on a Russian vehicle on a perpendicular road, before confronting it head-on and firing at it. Other targets are seen being fired on in the video, which shows the fiery aftermath of the blasts. The successful cooperation of anti-tank gunners, artillerymen, FPV drones, and an American Bradley left no chance for an attack by the occupiers, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry said. The M2 Bradley is highly maneuverable and fast enough to keep up with heavy armor. First appearing on the Ukrainian battlefield in April 2023, over 100 Bradleys have been reportedly provided to Kyiv by the US so far. Ukraine's 47th Mechanized Brigade is also reportedly equipped with German-supplied Leopard 2 main battle tanks, and on February 23, published a video that showed, for the first time, a US-supplied M1A1 Abrams tank in combat. However, 2 days later, Russia released video of what it said was the first M1A1 Abrams to be destroyed in the war so far. Russian state media reported Moscow's forces had hit 3 of the tanks close to Avdiivka, one of which it said had been completely destroyed, although this has not been independently verified. But the US pledged 31 M1 Abrams to Ukraine in early 2023. It comes as the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, said that Ukraine's ammunition shortage caused by delays in US aid could soon lead to a Russian breakthroughs on the front lines as Moscow's forces hold the initiative. The think tank said on Wednesday that Kyiv is being forced to ration critical ammunition, especially artillery shells, and prioritize allocation based on those areas currently facing the most intense Russian attacks. Meanwhile, as the Ukrainian state stepped up aerial attacks on key Russian energy infrastructure in the past 2 days. The drone assault on Wednesday caused a fire at an oil facility located in Ryazan, about 100 miles southeast of Moscow, the Washington Post reported, citing the region's governor, Pavel Malkov. Since Tuesday, Ukraine has been hitting Russia with a wave of drones, targeting oil refineries located deep in the country. 9 Russian cities and towns were targeted. At least 2 other refineries that were hit during Ukraine's drone assault included one in Kaistovo, about 300 miles east of Moscow, and one in Kirishi, which represents some of Russia's largest oil facilities. Russia's defense ministry claimed that it shot down about 60 drones that Ukraine deployed overnight on Wednesday to 6 regions, Bloomberg reported. If the numbers are accurate, that would mark one of Ukraine's largest drone strikes against Russia in recent months, according to the report.